am back with another video. It is Thursday the 3rd of February, so I cannot believe we're already in the second month of the year, but we are. It's going so fast, you guys. So fast. It's 10:20 in the morning. Nate will be home at 11. It's hot as hell, you guys. We have been having a heat wave. So if you can hear noise in the background, it's because my office doesn't have a ceiling fan or air conditioning. I have two pedestal fans going and it makes no difference. It's so hot, like so hot. And I've actually been having a rough time for the past 3 days because the heat and the humidity has been so bad that it's actually giving me pretty severe headaches. Like I've been getting severe stabbing headaches for several days now because of this heat and grossness, and I've just come off of having the flu as well, and now poor Nate is sick with the flu as well. He did get tested for COVID and it did come back negative, so that's great, but he's still sick. He's got the flu, and it's like the worst time to have the flu right now because it's so hot. Like I said, it's so freaking hot. Oh, you guys, seriously, I need to live where it's cold like 24/7. I really do. This heat is just killing me. Because the house that we live in, we don't own, we rent. It's a townhouse or a unit, whatever you want to call it. It's 2 bedrooms. The only room in the house that has air conditioning is the master bedroom, and then the lounge room has a ceiling fan, but that doesn't do anything really. It just pushes hot air. So the entire house is like a bloody sauna. And if you don't know what Australian summers are like, they are gross, they are hot, they are disgusting. Australia is hot most of the year, let's be real here. Even our winters aren't that cold. I mean, we get cold days, don't get me wrong. There are definitely periods where you might have a couple of weeks where you're so cold your fingers turn blue and they hurt. And there are some areas in Australia that do snow, so there are areas that get cold, but most of Australia, it's hot as hell all the freaking time. So all I'm saying is bring on winter, because I cannot handle this heat. I can already feel a headache coming on now. It's like 30 degrees and it's 10:30 in the morning, and last night and the night before it was like nearly 36 degrees in my house at midnight. Like, it's so hot. So let me just convert that for you. So because I do have, most of the people that watch my YouTube videos actually come from America, which is why I always convert everything to American, because that's where most of my subscribers or viewers come from. So let me just convert that for you. So 36 degrees at midnight is almost 97 degrees Fahrenheit. 97 at midnight. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And then, as usual, our government are useless, and our electrical services, power services, whatever you want to call them, cannot handle Australian summers, which blows my mind, because it's just like, this is not new. The heat is not new. So why has our electrical grid not been built, or at least upgraded, to handle the use of electricity that we use during the summertime? Because everybody's using their air conditioners. Why is this not being fixed? So apparently yesterday, 2 of our electricity plants went down, which is why we've been having such issues. Apparently there was an explosion in one of them. So our grid is like, it's struggling, which I understand, like, you know, I do, but it's just like, I'm 33. This is not new. Australia is not a new hot place. It's always been hot. So why has our services never ever been built to handle this. Like, really, guys, come on. And then, like, our government's all like, don't use the air conditioner, you're overloading the grid. And it's like, I get it, I get that the grid's being overloaded, but you can't tell people not to use their air conditioner. Like, it's so hot that people have had their pets die. Like, that's, you know, and the humidity is nearly 100 every day, all day long. It is gross. It's so gross. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say about that, but it's just irritating. It's so irritating. Like, every step of the way, every time something happens, it's just like you get reminded over how useless our government are. So useless. But anyway, I am still working on my scarf, which you did see in my previous vlog. And I'm just gonna also quickly remind you, my vlogs will never be uploaded in real time. You guys, if you're new to my channel, they won't be uploaded real time because my internet is really bad. Sometimes it can take me 2 weeks just to upload one video. So nothing will ever be loaded in real time, so you will see this well after the fact. It is what it is. Until I can find a way to have my internet fixed, this is just what I'm dealing with. So, yeah. But I have been working on my scarf, like I said. I'm really enjoying it. The yarn is so soft, you guys. It's if you're in Australia, and I do apologize for my American viewers because this is an Australian brand, and I don't think you can get it overseas. It's called Motivera Reflection. This is the yarn, and it's in the color pastel, and I'm loving it. It's beautiful. It's so soft. It's 100% acrylic as well, and it's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's what I've been working on. I also did finish a book, you guys. I finished Mount Mercy by Helena Newbury. I listened to it actually on Scribd, and I loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So it is a medical romance. So essentially we have our two main characters, Amy Beckett and Dominic Corrigan. So Amy is American, Corrigan is Irish, but has lived in America for a while, but he does have a strong Irish accent. And he is an ER doctor and she is a surgeon, and they both work in the same small town hospital somewhere in Colorado. And essentially what happens is they get snowed in by this severe blizzard and they get cut off from the rest of the surrounding towns in Colorado and everything. And when this happens, a criminal ring in the town decide to take this opportunity to basically rob the bank, bring down the phone towers, and try and kill the entire town by exploding the mountain which sits above the town so that they can get away with, I think it's like $50 million. So in the process of this, I will say there are sex scenes in this book. It is quite steamy. They do explain in a little bit of a graphic detail, not too crazy, but I know that some readers may not like that aspect of it, because there is a fair amount of sex talk in this book. It's not the main focus, but it's in there, so keep that in mind, between Amy and Corrigan. And one thing though I did actually enjoy about this book, which I didn't think I would, is actually the medical side of it. I generally steer away from medical romances or whatever because I generally always had this thought in my mind that I wouldn't like it. I've never read one before, so I don't know why I thought that, but I actually really enjoyed the medical side of things because the entire time all these disasters are happening and these criminals are shooting up the town and people and, you know, all that sort of stuff, there are still medical procedures happening. There's operations, there's open heart surgeries, there's all sorts of things that are happening in this book. and I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed listening to like the medical talk. I don't know how accurate the medical talk is, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I really loved the chemistry between Beckett and Corrigan because they were so vastly two different people. Both of them have had past traumas in their life. I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to give away everything. Corrigan's trauma, though, was a lot worse than Beckett's was. Not to diminish the pain and the trauma that she went through, but what happened to Corrigan was just something that I feel a lot of people would find it really, really hard to carry on with life. And he was as well. And what he was doing was so self destructive. He was drinking and sleeping with anybody and just going down these like dangerous paths. He was putting himself in danger by deliberately taking himself to dangerous like war zones and things like that because the trauma that he was dealing with made him want to die. But when he met Beckett, he realized that he didn't actually want to die, but he had so much guilt from the trauma that it was hard for him to process. So it was really like interesting to see the two characters interacting with each other because they brought out a side in each other that I don't think either one of them realized they had, and it also helped them to start to heal from the traumas that they both had. And I just enjoyed it. It was such a fantastic romance. It wasn't very long romance. I think it was like 6 hours or something like that. It wasn't very long. And frankly, I would actually read a series. Unfortunately, it's not a series, it's a standalone book. But if this was made into a series, I feel like I would love it. I really, really enjoyed this book. So, highly, highly recommend it. There will be a picture somewhere as well, probably earlier in this video, so that you can actually see what it looks like. But there's that. So, yeah, so I finished that book. I have started a new book on Scribed. Actually, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks. I will put a cover up here on the screen somewhere in a second when I'm going onto my Scribed app on my phone to try and figure out the title. Okay, it is called Diamonds and Daggers by Nancy Warren. It is, I think, either the 11th or the 12th book in the Vampire Knitting Club series. Book 11, there you go. It's book 11. I started this last night, actually, and I love it. So, our main character, Lucy, I think her name is. Oh my god, I'm terrible with names, you guys. I think her name is Lucy. Lucy Swift. She is American but lives in Oxford in England because her mother is from England. Her mother and her father are archaeologists, I believe, and they are currently in Egypt. And Lucy's grandmother, who still lived in Oxford, owned a knitting shop, and she died. Now, I'm not giving anything away here because this is like pretty obvious from all of the books. The very first one, it's like so obvious, but Lucy's grandmother dies but isn't dead. She was turned into a vampire. And so now there is a group of vampires that live in, not the sewers, but there's an underground tunnel below her shop in Oxford. And they've made a home in the underground tunnel. And they live down there. And one of the vampires used to be, in the silent movie era, a really, really famous actress, and they are currently remaking the movie. But in the movie, the original one, Sylvia wore a beautiful jewelry set made by Cartier, and obviously because she's a vampire and still alive, technically, she still has all of that stuff, but no one knows that they're alive because no one knows about vampires. So she has convinced Lucy to act as like the heir of her estate and go to this gala that's being held in the honor of the remake of this like silent movie that Sylvia was in. and her job is to wear the Cartier jewelry. So there's a necklace, earrings, 2 bracelets, and ring. While she's at this gala, she gets tripped and smashed in the back of the head and knocked out, and all of the Cartier jewelry is stolen. So that is where I'm at currently. And I just have to say, I love Nancy Warren's work. I've been reading her books now since either last year or the year before. I can't remember when I started. But I started during the pandemic sometime. And I'm loving them. I think they are such amazing, fast reads. They're so good though. So, so good. I actually have never read one of her books physically. I've always listened to them on audio because they're all inscribed. And I have to say, I highly recommend listening to them on audio. The narrator is amazing. I think I'm not sure who the narrator is. I'm sorry, but whoever her name is, I apologize. Such a perfect pick for this book. I love it. It's such a fantastic thing. And they are cozy mysteries. So obviously murder and things like that do happen, or like mysteries do happen in these books, but it's cozy. And the fact that it's also about a knitting shop, just, oh, I love it. It's like my 2 favorite things, vampires and knitting. I love it so much. And it's such like, just like a really cozy, just fun, easy read. I highly, highly, highly recommend that. So that's what I started last night. I did also work on my, let me just grab it, my granny square cardigan. So far it just looks like a blanket because I haven't got to the point in the pattern where you start making it look like a cardigan. But this is what it looks like. Hold on a second. This is what it looks like so far. It is beautiful. I love it. So I'm using Halloween yarn. I know. So this is the yarn I'm actually using. It is the Dahlia Halloween yarn. It's 100% cotton from Hobie. They don't have this particular yarn anymore on their website, unfortunately. But I did have 2 skeins. I had the colorway number 4, which I think was Mad Scientist, I think it was called, and colorway number 2, and I think this one's Haunted House. I can't remember because they don't put the names on the ball bands. They only put the number. But anyway, I'm on to my second cake of yarn, and I am loving how it is turning up. It's so easy to work on as well, you guys. Like, it's literally just a giant square, like granny square. Like, look at that. It's so beautiful. I love how the color fades into one another, and it's just gorgeous, and I love it. I got the pattern for this off of Hobie themselves. It is a free pattern, so I will link it down below if you are interested. The pattern that I'm using does call for the Halloween twisted, like Twisted Halloween, I think it's called, or something like that. So it's a slightly different yarn, but this is still working really well. This is the first time though I've actually crocheted a garment for myself. I have made a 2 ponchos for my niece and my sister, but I've never actually made anything for myself. So I've never crocheted a garment for myself. So this is actually the first time, and I've also never ever worked with 100% cotton either, and I have to say, obsessed, you guys. I have another 100% cotton cake from Hobie over in my yarn storage over there. It's one of the summer ones that was limited edition. They don't have it anymore, unfortunately. I did buy it last year. And I only bought 1, and I wish I had bought more, but I didn't. Because when I've buy yarns from a company that I've never bought from before, I tend to only buy one of each color just in case I don't like it. But I have actually 2 more Hobbii yarn hauls coming. I ordered one on the 26th of January. They are super, super fast at shipping it out, but once it leaves Denmark and it hits Australia, just forget about the fastness, because Australia Post is slow as all get up, and it ain't coming fast once it hits Australia. Australia Post are the most useless postal service. So it'll take several more weeks before it gets here, unfortunately. So I do have quite a lot of cakes that I picked out to go with the cake I already have, so I can make some more stuff with that, because I'm really enjoying making cotton garments. And then my second order I actually just placed last night, and I ordered a wool acrylic blend yarn, some needles, and I can't think of what the other one was. It was a recycled wool yarn, I believe. But the main reason for the order was because I have a pattern in this book here, which is the Harry Potter Knitting Magic, and there is a pattern that I absolutely want to make for when it becomes winter here in Australia. I'll just find it so I can show you. It's just absolutely stunning. It's called the Vera Verto Cape, and this is what it looks like. That's the front of it. Beautiful. I got a similar sort of color to this as well. And then I'll show you what the back looks like. It's just gorgeous. This is what the back looks like. Oh my god, you guys. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm a little scared to do this project because I've never knit a garment before. I've only ever knit socks, and yeah, that's it. And scarves. I've never really knit anything else. I've never knit a garment, and definitely one not that size, and definitely not for myself. So I'm a little, you know, hesitant, but I'm gonna do it. I know I can do this. It might take me a bit, but I'm gonna do it. And the whole pattern is in here, and the knit chart is in here as well. So yeah, that's what I did. I just, yeah. I can't help myself, you guys. So that's kind of everything, you guys. There's not really much else. Now I've got hair. Oh, it's wool. I've got literally, because I'm using the Motivera Reflection yarn, it's like a roving style yarn, and the fibers off that get on everything. It's all over my desk, so I keep getting it in my mouth. If you're a knitter or a crocheter, you totally get what I mean. So yeah, that's kind of everything. I really don't have a ton planned for today because it's hot as balls. Excuse my language, but it is. I feel like I'm dying right now. Like, I legit, after I finish filming here, I'm going, like, Nate will be home in 15 minutes. We're going to go get lunch. We're getting fish and chips for lunch. And then after eating that, I am having an ice cold shower. And then going and sitting in the aircon in the bedroom and working on my stuff and listening to my audiobook. That's my plan for today, you guys, because I can't. It's too much. It's just so, it's too much. This heat drives me so crazy. I'm just like, bring on winter. We've only got a month left though. Well, less than a month. 28th of February is the last day of summer. Thank God. 1st of March is autumn. You know I'm counting down those days, guys. I'm counting them down. So yeah, so anyway, guys, that's everything I really wanted to talk to you about, and I will update you in another video. Well, actually, what am I talking about? Not another video. This video. I'll update you later, I should be saying. Probably either tonight or tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah. So guys, I'll touch you later.